Well, it's that time of the week again. It's the War Room. Welcome, everyone, to another great, we know it's going to be a great episode of the War Room this week. Of course, every week is a great episode of the War Room. So welcome, everyone. We're very happy to have you. And Jester's not here this week. He won't be here next week either. He is, I guess the word is enjoying the Arctic frozen north of Iceland and Greenland and all that. And for this week, we're very, very, very happy and very, very excited to have Nerd Workshop join us. So thank you for coming on, Nerd. We really appreciate it. We are very much looking forward to chatting with you and also everyone out in the audience this week. But first, Ruff, how have you been doing this week? Have you done anything?
Yes. Now, I'll tell you what. And John, it's been a while since you've been on the show, isn't it? It's been a little while, so I'm glad you're back. It's been a little while.
Yeah, I got some gray hair since last time.
Yeah, I had some last time. But I'll tell you what. No, I'm okay, but we've had 2 or 3 days of abnormal weather. It's been at least 85, 90 degrees here, 29 degrees Celsius. It's shocking. We can't cope with it. There's no aircon. We don't have aircon. They have them in shops and hotels and things, but we just have to open a window and get on with it. So it's been blooming hot. My eyes have been watering. I've been trying to edit. I think the shadow is going to be split into 2.
So are we expecting your next few videos to have you crying in it?
Yeah, well, no, you won't see me. I'm not one of those that put my face on when I do my playthrough. I can't see the point of that.
You know, like skies above Britain.
yeah, because it's great face for radio. You don't want to see it on a video. No, but there you go. So I'm editing at the moment, but even now my eyes are watering. It's crazy.
I know this is an emotional episode.
Shut up! It's the heat and the hay fever. We're just not used to it. Us Brits, we burn. But there we go. Apart from that, I've had some stuff in, but it's not war game related. As you may know,
What's going on with this group?
Just to get it out of the way, see, it doesn't get mentioned again.
Oh, I know what it is. You've been playing some Warframe, haven't you?
No. Funny enough, no. But I do like non-war games, and one of them is Stalker. And I got the game in. It's a bit like you have to creep around, It's a bit like, I think Phoenix Knight is playing the board game of the video game, which this is as well, where you creep around. Mm-hmm. And I got the second wave in, and it's like extensions and all the minis, and it's God, dear oh dear. So looking forward to that. Also got half a dozen of these in.
Cardboard tubes?
Yes, for my neoprene mats. You look impressed, Nate.
Very.
I love my neoprene mats. And I've got one for Corsair Leader. I've got some for some other war games and some for non-war games. So that's all I've got in. And I put them in the old tubes because that keeps them nice.
Okay.
Nerdy, how are you getting on? What have you been up to?
Nerd, yes. What have you been up to?
While you're doing that, I'm going to say hello to all the peeps that have suddenly turned up.
There are a lot of them there.
Yes.
But I just been doing a lot of videos, mainly on box openings because I got a lot of stuff in. And I've been doing a lot of the trays. I've been designing trays because GMT was kind enough to carry the STL files for us.
Yeah, I saw that on our website.
Yeah, people can go and get them for free and download them and go ahead and put their stuff together and put the game
Sure,
together.
that's because you're upside down and back to front to most normal people. You know, it's summer here. I know it's coming up to your winter. Sorry, but he's just
Sean,
moaning. He's just moaning. Yeah, he's from down under.
Well, yeah, you were moaning. We had 104 2 days ago. So yeah.
Oh, couldn't cope with that. Jeez, no.
Yeah, it's 89 where I'm at.
Yeah,
that's
today's
normal
cool.
In Virginia.
Yeah, but no, that's all I've been doing. I'm actually going to start a game, which I'm going to actually do a playthrough thing on the channel, and I think Ruff is familiar. Oh, it's all the way down there now. But I think Ruff is familiar with this game. I know he built it up. You know, but
yes,
I'm going to start with Skies, then Storm, and then on to what Ruff did. And I think by the time I get to that and get through that one, he might have finished the series.
No, I don't know. You know what? It might be a while before I get one of them in the series out again, knowing how long it took last time. But they are great games. Don't get me wrong.
There's my partner in crime right there, that Mike guy. He's responsible for my credit card having an extremely high balance.
Right.
Every time I go to GMT, I go, I'm not going to buy anything. And then he goes, "Oh, did you see this game?" Oh,
he turns into the GMT salesman, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. No doubt.
That's what both of you, both you, Nerd, and Mike, have gotten me like this close to pulling the trigger on Fighting Formations.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
Still not convinced. I've got to play a bit more of it.
You do. Yeah. You know, when I play tested the 29th, and I think we played all but one of the scenarios, and we played both of them, some of them twice, and it was just always different, different. You know, and as a matter of fact, that's going to be one of my picks today.
That's a great segue. It's a great segue.
Yeah.
Because today's topic my original topic that I had sent to us earlier in the week was the games with the best replayability. And Ruff kindly, I'll use the word kindly, decided to edit the title as Wargames with great replayability.
It's much punchier, but bless your heart, Nate, for that.
That's right. I say it all with love. With love and care. Yeah. So the topic for today is games with great replayability. Excuse me. And so thinking through games that you have or that you've played that, like, say, you don't own, but you have a friend that owns it and you play it with them, that always plays different. It always ends up different every time you play, and for the better.
That's pointing at me. That's because I know I've got a dodgy old computer.
But I'm very, very, very excited. I wasn't able to really play anything this week, unfortunately, because dissertation work takes precedence. But I was able, as I'm sure everyone in the chat, I know both of you could see last week when Dave mentioned that he had a certain extra something. And so I started contacting him. And what do you know? I now have a copy of The Fate of All. Finally got it. Nice. I'm so excited. So excited. Thank you very much to Dave to selling it to me.
Is that the thin line thingy?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I'm very, very, very excited to get this to a table sometime soon. Who knows when with dissertation stuff, but I'm hoping to carve out some time to play this, because I already did I wanted to see, I was hoping when I would get it, can I fit all the maps to play the whole campaign? And sure enough, my table fits them all. So very, very excited because I want to play the entire Alexander campaign in the game. So very, very excited. So that is my news for the week.
Well, I've got a bit of news, because I think it might be, if I can find him again, is that this man's a miniatures player, He's disappeared now. But
you see all those pieces up there, right?
Yeah, I can't find him now. He's the chap that got me interested in GBOH because it was on his channel many moons ago. Hold on, let me see if I can find. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I will share something. So, speaking of the fate of all, earlier in the week, let's see if I can share my screen. The announcement of the CSR awards came out.
Oh, right, I've got him.
And so I thought it would be fun for us to go through them and whether or not any of y'all have played any of those that were nominated and any of the winners. So, for instance, the best Ancients game, the winner was the Fate of All. So I'm excited to have it. But then there was the Betas campaign that was in a C3I magazine. Beware the Ides of March, Hollandspiel. I haven't played that. Neither have I played History of the Ancient Seas from Sound of Drums, but Rome 2 I have and have played, and I like that. Any of you all played any of those?
I played virtually none of those. It does wind me up.
This is actually the first time I've heard of any of those.
Yeah, it winds me up. Where do they get these from? But anyway, keep quiet, Ruff.
Then the medieval one, Tanto Monte. So that's the third game after Here I Stand and Virgin Queen. I have that. I haven't played it yet, but it looks like a beautiful game. A Jest of Robin Hood from GMT. Norman Conquest from GMT. So
well, let's hope that one wins, eh?
Norman Conquest.
Yeah.
Then I cannot pronounce the V. You pronounce it right. There you go.
There you go. Easy.
And the winner was Tanto Monte. So I haven't played that one yet, but I would like to. I have played Norman Conquest and Sword of Orthodoxy, and I liked both a lot. Next, Gunpowder. I have not played any of these.
There you go. They're all well-known games.
Banished all their fears.
Yes, but that's got its own problems.
That has a reputation.
I have it still in shrink wrap.
Oh, okay. I know Nordic definitely can give us. He can.
Yes, don't mention it's Nordic. No, don't. It's the DVG thing. Don't with Nordic. Don't.
For Best Napoleonic, the winner was I, Napoleon. Now, I've played it. I don't know.
I watched people play it.
I've got it.
For me, the
well, between all of us, we can form some kind of opinion on it.
Yeah, I've not played it, but
it's okay. It's okay. It was just kind of like flip a card and do what it says.
Yeah,
and
it's not a war game, is it? So
not necessarily. No,
it's not.
1812. Now I will say 1812 from VUCA looked really cool. I think Ruff, you have that, right?
Ugh.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
It's a great looking game. Great artwork in the game.
It is. I tell
Nordic, you crack me up, Nordic.
What's he going on about? Oh, can I just say, because I found the chap. This chap here, it's a few years ago, but he not only did he play Battles of the American Revolution that got me into that, he's also played GBOH. He played SPQR and got me into that as well. So thank you, and it's great to see you over here. So I hope you're doing well. He's a miniature, and his channel, if you go over and visit it and subscribe, sits there and paints and chats to you. Very relaxing.
Very cool.
So get over there. Good to see you. Right, sorry.
So then Alliance, that's a BBG.
Yeah.
So wasn't for me. Napoleon's End. Sounds
a bit rude.
Well, Napoleon's End is from the Library of Napoleonic Battles.
Yeah, but it just sounds rude. Who wants to talk about Napoleon's End? I certainly don't. The enemy. He had one.
True. Moving on. Then Best American Civil War game. The winner was Rebel Fury. Haven't played it yet, but I own it. I've heard a lot of good things about it, though.
Yeah, you see,
Have any of you all played it?
no, because one I've decided to do and have a go at is GBACW.
Okay.
I don't want to get I don't want to get sidetracked. I'm trying to get into your history, you see, your 18th century history. So,
sure, I started playing it online. That was the one they told us to buy and help them out.
Oh yeah.
So so I started playing it on there. Still don't have a full grasp of it yet, but stuff I play in between. I'm watching TV and playing, and watch TV and playing.
Yeah. I haven't heard. Well, no, actually, I have heard of the rest. Yes. So Gettysburg, 1863 from Worthington, Shiloh from Revolution, Tattered Flags from our.
hey, hi Gary.
Hey,
Gary.
And Thunder on the Mississippi, GCACW. It's a great system.
La la la.
Great system.
It looks really good. But let me get a grip of GBACW first.
And yes, William, I did try it on the PC.
Here we go. So now World War I, the winner was Schutztruppe from Compass, about the East African campaign. Then the rest was Caporetto, excuse me, from Caporetto 1917, Italia 1917 to 1918, and Mud and Blood. And I have not heard of the others.
I haven't got those. As you know, I haven't got a lot of World War I games.
I think
but look at the winner of the next one. Yes.
I thought
North Africa.
The winner was Panzer North Africa.
That's the only one in the Panzer series I don't have, is that one right there.
It's a standalone one, isn't it, John? You don't need any others. Yeah. And look at it. Look, it weighs it's huge.
I didn't want to get that because I knew I'd try to make combat.
I would challenge you to
well, that's it. I looked at that. Oh man, that burned my brain out.
Yeah, it's full up to the because you've also got.
I'll take that challenge. On the map. I can do it.
You could probably do it, but you've got little things that sit on the map like hills and other things, included in that punch stuff.
Yeah, I'll just extend the top.
Good idea.
There you go.
So it's like a 3-foot box.
Yeah, there you go. I was actually surprised. I most certainly thought that the Greatest Day Utah Beach would win. So I was surprised when I saw Panzer North Africa won. But I guess it's a good game.
Yeah, no, there's no way to play it solo, but Vuka kindly sent it to me. It's a lovely looking game. We have had me and Tweez have had a little go online. It's Tweez loved it. I thought, no, I'm having a fighting formations moment with it.
Well, the dice were not good to you.
It's just I've got to play a bit more.
If you have issues with short-term memory, you can easily play it solo.
Yeah, there you go.
Who said that?
See, you can play
it. Yes. Have a sort of. Have you seen the film Memento? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Yeah. It's not that short term.
So last is best modern game, Purple Haze.
I've got that sitting over there. Yep.
Have not played it, and the only one I've heard from the rest of this list was 85 Afghanistan from Flying Pig. So yeah, not aware of really not familiar with any of these. But Ruff will like. I'll move all the way down.
No, I haven't seen that song. I don't know how they. Well,
just solitaire.
Oh, yep, that's right. Best solitaire game was I, Napoleon, but then there was Atlantic Sentinels, Manila, Rome 2, Viva Mexico, and
Wolfpack. See, Wolfpack, I'm going to fight for Mike here. Wolfpack.
I would have thought Wolfpack.
That's the best solo and best cooperative game out there.
I certainly voted for Wolfpack myself to be the best solitaire game this year.
Yeah. Yes.
But Ruff will let's see if I can find it. The best war game of the year was Panzer North Africa.
Whoa, Woof.
The war game of 2024.
It is at the moment in one of my top 5 games that I've ever played. It's just, and I play it solo, and I can get around the orders. You just make a little house rule, and everything's tickety boo.
I can just
Mark Herman's Rebel Fury was third. That's good.
What's that?
I said Mark Herman's Rebel Fury was third, and Ted Racer.
Are they in voting order, or are they just the others?
Those are just the other nominees. For
they're not in any order.
Oh, they're not in any order. So these are just nominees right now.
I don't know about that, whether they're in the order, but these were the other nominees for winner of the year, and so I don't know if they were in any particular order or not. But yeah, me personally, I would have voted for Wolfpack to have been the solitaire game of the year. I was really surprised how much I liked that.
Is Herman's game, Tattered Flags, are they solo? They're not the best solo game. Oh, no, it's not the solo. Sorry. Behaviors. I thought it was the Charles S. Award for the solo game of the year, but it's not.
No. So, but
Herman, I thought would have done, because they're very popular. His games are very popular.
Very. But that was the Charles S. Roberts for 2024. So I will say this. I mean, I'm sure everyone was aware of all of the stuff that went on about the CSR awards over the last several years or whatever. But I do think that a lot of the categories they have now are very good. They're defined right, I think, well, and I think that they do a good job. So
Yes, Tim. Yes.
Well, you're always going to have people that are going to disagree, no matter what.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, that's why I don't get too emotionally tied to it. If it pops up and I remember, I'll do my vote. And that's it. I don't sort of go all funny about it, because it's just, for instance, it's us war gamers, us merry few voting for our favourite games. Yeah. I just wish there were some more games that I'd played, or some I've heard of, but there we go. Maybe I need to get out more.
Ruff, you just opened yourself up for all kinds of stuff.
I know, but there you go. That's why everybody.
I'll show some grace and not walk through that door.
No, well, you normally do.
I know, but I'm not going to.
I did say I need to get out more, so I was,
Well, you are going to, conventions now, so I mean,
That's true. That is true.
It is, and it's great. It's great.
You meet new people playing games.
That's right. And I haven't even been to a convention, so I am derelict in the performance of my duties as a wargamer.
I'm going to one next month, so.
Nice.
This isn't Origins on this.
This weekend, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it sounded like oranges. I meant oranges.
Oranges is fine. We knew what you meant.
Origins, yeah. Yeah, that's on this week. That's probably why we haven't got so many people in. They're all at Origins. Or because Jester's not here.
It's got to be Jester.
Got to be Jester.
And I really I brought these for Jester, and he's not here.
Oh, damn.
You sure that he's not live streaming Warframe right now?
He probably is.
Did he take it with him to Iceland to stream up there?
Who knows? Who knows? But
Consim World is in 3 weeks.
That's where I'll be.
Where is it at this year?
It's in Phoenix, Tempe, Arizona, near Phoenix. It'll only be 112 there, so it should be a good time.
What, people?
That's the only place. My daughter went to ASU, so we always went to Tempe, and that's the only place I've ever had soda cans inside a cooler blow up in my car.
My gosh.
That's how hot it got. And because overnight I go the next morning, I open up the car and it's all steamed inside. I'm going, what is this? It smells like Coke in there. I'm going, what? Why is what?
It's because it is Coke. It's everywhere.
They blew up and they just steamed out.
Oh my gosh!
I'll tell you what, us Brits, we just wouldn't survive it. We are hardy folk for the cold.
Well, I told my wife, I said, "You want to go with me to Tempe?" And she goes, "Wait, in July?" And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "You're crazy."
You're like the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I need to find a convention that's closer, like here on the East Coast.
There's a lot of them.
There's a number of them. I know what Dave mentioned. WBC is in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I think there's one in Charlottesville.
I'd like to go to
That's
WBC.
one, right?
That's a nice little one, isn't it? And
Compass has 2 of them back there.
Yeah, there's they have theirs in Connecticut. That's a ways away for me. That's like 8-hour drive.
Speaking of Compass, I want to let everybody know that I won a game on their Thursday night, and they had that game to me like I think the following Wednesday.
Wow, what game was it?
I just had it out too.
And can I just say, Nate, us over here, we couldn't drive for 8 hours. Which is why we moan when a journey takes an hour and a half.
Yeah. See, in California, an hour and a half, that's just for us to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, it's nothing in America.
Yeah, it's all to do with
I used to drive every day because I remember when I was in college one year, I still lived with family, and I drove Spring Prelude.
Yeah,
we'd have to start right at the bottom, I think, Nordic, and then get right to the top.
Yeah, this thing is huge map. I mean,
what's this?
It doesn't even fit on my table.
Spring Prelude, Ruff.
Spring Prelude.
Oh, is that what is it? Second World War? Yes, it looks like.
Yeah, Second Kharkov. So that's the variable combat system.
Yes.
So you pull
yes. What was the other one that came out? Or is it that one? There was one combat system that came out. They made one game and it wasn't very popular at all.
Well, this one is sort of in the same vein as it's the same designer as Kharkov Battles and Fall Blau from Compass.
Oh. Yeah, well, it says the chip pull mechanic originally from Victory in the West series, further refined in VCS series, Descendants. So that's what.
There was another combat series that didn't make it. I think there must be a new one. I think they brought one out and it got much. It was much talked about, not in a good way. But if everybody knows what I'm talking about, it'll be in the chat because they are.
Panzer Group Guderian. I think that's what it is. Dave mentioned it.
Well, the one I was talking about.
I think so.
I think Tony got it.
Nice, Nordic.
So let me ask you this question since based on our discussion last week. So what were I saw your video that came out before our discussion on Saturday of your top 5 games of 2025.
Yeah, I wonder where he got that idea from. I wonder where he got that idea from.
No, I had no idea because the best part was after I posted the video, Jester come on and goes, "Dude, this is our," he says comment like, "This is our subject this week."
Who cares?
And I go,
we jest. We did find it funny because we knew someone would get the
next week I'm going to do this one now. Best replayable games. Top 5 best replayable games now.
So let me ask on your list. I can't remember. Did you rank them by order, or did you just put them all together and just
pretty much the ones that I've played and that I really like?
Okay.
I played others, but those are the ones that I've played and I want to play again, and I have. So those are just ones I like.
I'm with you there, not ranking them, because if you do, you're going to upset someone. If you just say my top 5 games, people go, "Oh yeah, good choices." If you say number 1 is, they go, "What do you mean? What about this one? This is better."
Yeah, they'll always come back and say, "Oh, you should have put such and such first."
Yeah. So you did good there. No,
but I mean, it's hard too because they're all so different. To me, it's hard to rate them. I mean, there's certain games that I'm going to play over and over again. I love it, but
was there anyone that sort of jumped out at you that you were kind of surprised that you actually enjoyed it as much as you did?
Well, I think the one I was most surprised about was that I actually played, but I don't have the game yet, was Nemesis that I played with Mike at GMT. I was real surprised how much I liked that game.
Nemesis.
Yeah,
You mean
that's the one on the. That's the one that's based off of Alien.
It's one of my favorite games.
It's a fantastic game. I mean, it's just,
I've
I just don't
I've
have
got
anybody
them
to
all.
play, and I don't want to spend $100 for the game. You know, with
Yeah,
nobody to
it is.
play.
I've ordered.
You can
got the
see
new
how
one.
excited he is now.
Yeah, he's like this.
I've
He
got
just
them.
lit up.
Look, I've even. You know what I'm like.
And see, I can paint those things back there. I'm all set to paint them. You know.
Yeah, very nice. Oh boy.
Play man. Well, that's what his tubes are for.
Yes, well, they came like that from Awakened Realms, but I've got the third one on its way.
Oh, Mike says we will be playing a console. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah,
because he's the one that got me hooked on it. Because he has this nice set, and
it is a great game.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm a bit up the air. Sorry about I'm taking over, but I'm a bit. It's a great solo game when you play it with two people. You can play it with one, but two characters is great. When you play it with more than one person, well, three probably
we had four. Yeah, we had four.
Four, yeah, and you're playing semi-cooperatively, so you can do the old stabby in the back.
Yeah. When you play with Mike Berticelli, I mean that guy'll stab you in the back in a heartbeat.
Oh, I know that he does that anyway,
and that's before the game starts.
Even playing Wingspan, he does that.
Yes, exactly.
but yeah, when you're playing solo or playing with just playing cooperatively, trying both to get out, it's good. But when you get 3 or 4, yeah, the old psycho knives come out.
Yeah, no,
you're supposed to be helping me. No,
I was when we played at GMT. I was this close. All I had to do was just get off the ship, and I would have won because everybody else got killed. And the whole idea was, all I had to do was just get off the ship and let everybody else die. And the stupid thing caught me right at the chamber there when
I know it's great.
Escape pod.
All right, so there's a question for you, nerd, in the chat. It is: are you going to do some AARs on Spring Prelude?
I don't know. I haven't looked at that game yet enough to know what I'm going to do. I did a box opening. I just did a box opening, which I'll be putting up next week. But yeah, I have so many things going on right now. The counter trades kind of took over a little bit, quite a bit.
John.
And so, but yeah, I want to try and do something on Spring Prelude. I think it's a pretty cool looking game from what I've read. I just read a little bit of it.
I watched Kev's Big Board Gaming's videos on it, and he seemed to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's all right. You stay in the beer garden, matey.
Now, it will be interesting thinking about what you were mentioning about Mike just a second ago. It will be interesting when he comes out with the sequel to Wolfpack, where you play the escorts and the destroyers, and you combine it, and he'll try to come sink us in our submarines.
That'd be a blast, actually.
Would be a lot of fun.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be a cool combination.
That would be very, very cool. So let's see. But
yeah, of the games that I played, I think the one that really that I got into quite a bit was this year, basically part of last year, was Fields of Fire. I sort of didn't think I would enjoy that game as much as I did, and it's a hard game to win. I mean, Mike and I, we still got Mike, Jester, and I, we still got some Battlefield playing on that game. We landed and got the crap beat out of us because they listened to me and went up the hill, which was the logical choice, but it ended up not being the logical choice. Everybody was good. It's funny, three of us are playing a solo game, and I say, "Let's go up the hill," and they all go, "Yeah," and they go up the hill, and we get shot up, and they go, "That was stupid Reed's idea, man. What are you doing?"
That's why it's solitaire, nerdy.
Yeah,
because it causes arguments.
That's right. Because solitaire, you go, "Why'd you do that?"
When I first got it, that was my first war game. I got, a few years ago now, and I played it probably incorrectly. But since I started playing it, I thought, "Wow, there's something here in this game. It's so different."
That game.
And then when the deluxe version came out, yeah.
Have you played the deluxe version yet, Ruff?
I've had a little push around a bit. So I want to do the whole sort of both training manuals. So just for me on video to help me, because if you're a teacher, as you know, or a tutor or whatever, if you teach something, you have to understand it. If you're talking about it or playing a game and you're videoing it, you, generally speaking, I know this is me, have a little idea what's going on. I mean, even in Shadows, which is a simple game, I make mistakes. But that's why I want to do it to help me, and also anybody else who's still frightened of getting it, because it's got a bit of a reputation, especially even from the second edition rulebook.
Yeah, see, I started with the second edition because I couldn't get the first edition when I first started.
Goodness, I didn't.
I thought, holy, what is this game? This is stupid. I can't do this. But I actually signed up for play testing for the third one that's coming out. So hopefully I'll be able to do some of that and get a better understanding.
Looking forward to that. See, now they've tightened up the rules. You've also got the second one, the Fields of Fire crew, the Marines, with them doing their landing. There's so much.
Yeah.
The problem with it's a bit like Atlantic Chase. Once you start playing it, you can't stop. It's like those crisp things, once you pop, you can't stop sort of thing.
Oh,
Pringles, yeah. It Fields of Fire's like that, once you start.
See, I have a shrink wrapped Atlantic Chase up there. I bought that because I was down in the San Diego show, and they were playing it. And I just watched two guys play it. I was so involved in that game and just going, this is a fantastic game. And I bought it, but I haven't even unwrapped it yet.
Oh, man.
And get going on those tutorials. They are fantastic. They're fun to play as well. The first couple are a little bit easy, but,
we get Pacific Chase coming out hopefully soon.
Pacific, yeah. Whoa. I think they had the GMT warehouse, but I didn't pay much attention to it. They were demoing it. But yeah, I like Mike's comment. It's a great plan until it's not. Yes, Mike.
Yeah. That's always the first casualty, isn't it, in a battle?
Yes. And they always throw you under the bus too. Well, that was your idea. We all got killed.
Yes, as you were the officer in command or commanding, you're following
your
orders.
Pilot in command. Yep, it's always your fault.
Yeah, I'm still not. I don't know. I'm still not convinced about it yet.
It's a tactical game. Okay, you've got squads. You've got
sure.
You've got a platoon.
There's no map.
But it is
but
you get used to it after a while. You get used to it.
The cool thing about it is that your map changes all the time. Even during the game, the map changes.
And you're talking about replayability. You can play the same scenario twice. A completely different map.
That was my game right there for replayability. Right here is that I picked out. That was one of them, because for a solo game, that one just
you couldn't have that with a static map, could you? You'd have, so the reason the cards are there is because you put them face down. You put some face up, and then as you move along, you might turn them face up, and you go, "Oh no, there's a blooming hill in the way," or something.
And if you go to GMT and download all the STL files for making this, the counter trace, I also include little squares that you put down, then you put your cards in and put all your counters in, and keeps them all organized. So that I was watching Tony. The reason I did that, I was watching Tony play it, and he flung out a card and wiped out all his pieces off his card.
It's quite counter heavy. That's other thing.
I said, yeah, that's it. And at times you got these stack of counters that you can't see, what's on there. And I thought, well, I gotta do it. And that's a matter of fact, if you look back here, I think you can see that stack right back there. That's the stack of those.
That's why I try and use only one exposed, or only one of this or one of that, rather than putting them on every.
Well, I got it made.
And now a word from our sponsor.
You see how good that stack is. But I have them made so that I don't know how well you can see it because it's white. But you can have counters on this side.
Oh yeah.
Counters on this side. And make it stack. So like if you had them under cover, you'd have a cover here, and you have 3 or 4. It's hard going backwards here. I have 3 or 4 there.
Is that for each card? Is that for each card? Each card.
Yes, for each card.
So you need a 20-foot table, no?
Yeah, it does make. I said it does make it bigger. I prelude that with that, but it is so neat that to me it makes it easier to play.
But they were bringing them out for things like the DVG Leader series, because they had the same sort of problem with piles of counters on them. So yeah, good idea.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I still have to think about it. I mean, I've got my shelf of games, of unplayed games, continues to grow faster than.
Welcome to the club. You're becoming a war gamer.
Yeah, it's very sad. Very, very sad.
Am I back on?
Yep. You're good.
Well, all kinds of stuff popped up on my screen saying you're unplugged. You're unplugged. Ah!
Oh,
I didn't see you go.
No, I know. Hopefully, I mean, whenever this dissertation gets done, then I'll just be playing everything as much as I can all the time. But I did see earlier this week. Let's see if I can pull it up. Something that I know I will be getting.
It's some Roman thing, isn't it?
No, it's actually not. It's actually not a Roman thing, surprisingly enough. Let's see if I can find it again. Here we go. So there is a company that is doing a Kickstarter here relatively soon. I think it's on the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. That is doing this like deluxe box of stuff for the Europa Universalis board games, so you can store it, because it's hard to store everything and organize it well, and even in the deluxe box that you get with the game. But here, notice, Ruff, all of the cards are sleeved in this picture. So, and they're all categorized as well, so you can keep everything right in this box.
It's a good idea. It's the same thing with another game I like to play, and I think Mike loves it as well, Explore It. Another sort of crawler, open to, you're crawling in the world. And that came with a hero chest, just to put everything in, so you can put like your character cards in there, and it leaves the box a little bit less full to put all the other bits from that thing in. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah,
I interested in that game, Explorer. Mike's going to actually teach me that next week.
Yeah, you see, me and Mike, good job I'm not there. That's all we'd play then too.
Well, I would definitely recommend trying Europa Universalis. It is an excellent game. Excellent game. It is. I mean, it's a little pricey, but boy, there's a lot of game.
It's good they've designed that, because if it's an expensive game, which I assume it is anyway, you want to sleeve your cards. Even if you're the gentlest shuffler, you want to sleeve your cards. I don't know why not. Once it's done, and you can shuffle away. They're easier to shuffle. They're protected. They're going to last. If it gets scratched, it's the sleeve that gets scratched, and you just put another one in.
Well, Ruff, you will be so excited and so proud.
I'm very easily excited, and I'm proud to be here with you two. So easily, I am so easily.
So, earlier in the week, I was hanging out with my buddy Ryan, the other half of my Board Game Bunker channel, and he was telling me, he said, I've started to sleeve all the cards for every game that I have.
I know it's an expense, and I know people go, oh, God, I only sleeve when I play the game. Sleeve them, forget them. So when you get the game out, they're done. Yeah. If you're not a sleever, fair enough.
He told me, he said, it's incredible, because, I mean, not only are they protected, but he said it's a lot easier to shuffle them now.
There you go.
So I knew you would like that.
I think for me, it just comes from when I played Magic. You always,
I think the same here.
You want to damage the cards.
It's just an automatic response to cards.
Yeah, it is much easier to sleeve them, and it's much easier to flip them all over the place when they're sleeved too.
I know. Yeah, and the other thing, when you first sleeve them, they
grow,
push them down, and they go ooh when you release it. But it doesn't take long for them to settle down. So if you sleeve a game and then not play it for a week, when you come back, you'll see that they've settled down. It don't take long, because they have to get squashed. I think one of the YouTubers came across that problem, and he designed a sort of clamp that when he'd sleeved his cards, he just put them in that clamp for overnight, and he said that's it, they're salted. But yeah, it's not a big problem. But yet for me and you, Nerdy, it's sleeving all the way. And I understand I don't have another row with anybody whose name begins with J.
Well,
if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I'm happy.
Well, there's somebody else that doesn't do it because every time I send the STL files for my things, he goes, "Do you have some that aren't sleeved?" You know,
oh, because my cards are rattling about.
Yeah, my cards move around a lot.
Oh man,
it's too much pressure.
Yeah.
Says, look at that. He has over 1,000 of the Dragon Shields.
The problem with Dragon's Shield is they're coloured on the back. You know, you have to have them coloured on the back for Magic, because they don't trust you that you might be marking the back of your cards so you know what it is. So you put them on a coloured back.
Yeah.
And only see the front. So they're no good really for our games, because I like to see the back of the card, you know. So
I just use clear for our games.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I use these. These are the cheapest ones. Look, we're turning into sponsorship now. Look, they're the ones I use. They're
I use cheaper ones than that. I get Amazon. They're like 1,000 of them for $8.
You're right.
No, these are not like the penny sleeves. The penny sleeves are too big, and they're also crinkly. These are nice and properly thick. You know, they're like the ones you use on Magic cards. You know,
the premium sleeve.
The premiums. You only get 50 in a pack.
It's very posh of him.
Well, that's because he has money he doesn't know what to do with. See,
no, I don't. That's the problem. But I don't want to spend out. You know, I don't want to be cast.
Now he's retired, and so he has nothing else to do but spend money on.
Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Yeah.
Oh no, I forgot. I was going to show you all. Let me go get it real quick.
Now, every time I get a new game, I'll sit out there while we're watching TV, and first I'll clip the counter edges, all the counters, and then I'll sleeve everything. And that's just my
being retired, I have to wait. I think no, I'll have to leave it a couple of weeks until it comes in, and then I'll get some sleeves. So yeah. But if I'm playing it, then and I've got them there, I'll sleeve the game that's in. You know, there's a few games I've not sleeved.
Yeah, Evan and I, we started playing as Wingspan, like I told you guys before we started the show.
Cards.
And that has smaller cards, so I actually had to order different sleeves, which I'm waiting to get just for that. But we played the game, and I couldn't shuffle them. And I have a card shuffler that I can crank. That
no.
Yeah, that's the same thing Evan did. Evan goes, he's freaking out.
That's just sent. It's like somebody's walked over my grave. I just got a shiver there. Oh no.
Now, in the same vein as sleeving, I do want to show something I was able to do earlier in the week. I totally forgot about this. I was finally able to organize, punch, and sort everything for Red Stripe.
Everything.
Look at that.
Have you done one for that, Nerdy?
I haven't, because I don't have the game.
All the Cube for Me trays. Super nice.
Mike, sit down, have a coffee, and have a think. All right.
all of the airplanes for like NATO, and all of the airplanes for the Warsaw Pact, all of the admin counters.
And you're using those those funny trays.
Cube for you?
Cube for Me from Poland. That fantastic. I took a chance earlier in the year and bought one of theirs that they had put together for a game, and it worked perfectly. And
I thought, that, don't they? They say we've worked out the thing. Mm-hmm. The only problem is, I think they're not always sleeved cards.
Well, sometimes they do on certain games. They will say that like these
they offer both,
accommodate either sleeved or unsleeved.
Ah, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
And they'll tell you specifically on what thickness the sleeve is.
Yeah, these I use the old. I don't use the penny sleeves. I use these thicker ones. They're just much. If you're going to use a sleeve, you might as well use a good one. They're not expensive. I picked these. These are much cheaper than Dragon's Shield. I think they're about £1.25 a pack. They're not.
But
I think somewhere in Norway, Jester's going like this. What are they talking about?
Yeah. But they mentioned me. What if they're talking about me? Are they taking the mickey?
Somebody's leaving something. What's going on here? Why do I feel uncomfortable?
Warframe.
Yeah.
But yeah, with all of the Cube for Me trays now, it's all in
there.
In the box.
So
Perfectly fits in the box.
We'll expect a playthrough in the near future then.
See, I would it would look like an origami type puzzle all put together if I did it.
Yeah, it looks like it does. Extra squeaky saying it all fits in the box.
It all fits in the box. That's the thing. I mean, as long as you get it in the box, that's my thing. Is before you until I think I bought one cube for me set and I liked it, but it still put like 2 or 3 different counters together in one.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I
See,
thought
I like Fields of Fire. I've had to put that in one of the white boxes, the GMT white boxes, because I like to spread out.
Dude, everything is in here.
I know, but you've got these in with these.
And they all come apart, and you can. I know
my brain wouldn't cope with it, so I have to put them all separate. I've got enough. When I've used my GMT.
Your mic's off, Ruff.
See, I only have to knock the top and it's gone. I've got about 10 GMT trays left. Once they've gone, I haven't got a 3D print. I can't afford a 3D.
Yeah,
printer.
you can.
No, I can't.
Hey, you buy the expensive card sleeves. Just knock it down and grade.
They're not expensive. They're not Dragon Doodah sleeves. These are the cheap.
You just showed me a box. The box is stacked.
These are the Walmart sleeves, as opposed to the designer shops in California. Those ones along all the road there. No, they're cheap. Once I've got those, I'll probably have a look at Cube for Me.
Out of Poland, yeah.
Yeah, so the shipping shouldn't be that
bad. And they're
bad even for the US
too. I mean, I was surprised how cheap they are. Really,
right.
They're a good
See,
deal.
that's the Poles. They're sensible people. They say if we charge too much, nobody will buy it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
To answer Dragon X, I don't know. Well, I don't know how it works solitaire. But
I think Combat Commander is harder to solitaire. Let's leave it like that.
Yeah.
Then.
I think Red Strike. There's really, my understanding from what I've read from people, and even YouTuber Stephen Dolges did a playthrough of it.
He was playing solo.
Yeah, he played it solo. It didn't look like that it was going to be that hard. So it's on my list for this year. We'll see if I get to it.
I think it's like any two-handed game. You play each one best to your, the ability. I know this is the problem, isn't it? There's always a mental bias in this. You're always going to sort of, if I play Battles of the American Revolution, I try not to. Not that I have, but when you're playing, you think, I want us to win. Come on. So yeah, there is that mental bias.
Well, Ruff, pull up that last comment there. I take no responsibility whatsoever.
That's funny. Your
battles,
Dragon X. I take no responsibility.
Now I'll tell you, Ruff, your Battles of the American Revolution, that I watched through all those, and you cracked me up on those. I mean, when I first started watching again, you just cracked me up on this before I met you. And I was just laughing. I was showing my wife, I said, look at this guy. I said, tell me he's not favoring the British. And she goes, oh yeah. Yeah, big time. We had it on the TV watching it.
But the thing is, I wasn't. That's why after that, because of all the grief. No. Because of all the grief I got, I had to bring the dice tower into.
No, I know. Well, I love how you marked on the plexi.
Oh yeah.
I love
and
that.
I got that off the chap I said hi to earlier that got me into Great Battles of the American Revolution and a GBOH, because that's what he did. I thought, what a cracking idea. I think in the video I do actually.
That was a great idea.
Thank him. Yeah. Thank you.
By the way, Ian just reminded us it's lock and load time.
Oh, crikey. I've been. Yes, sorry. Lock and load, everyone. Lock and load. I'm drinking a nice 2020.
I agree. I agree with Mike's comment on that. He calls BS. Yeah, on the whole American.
Yeah, you may think that I possibly couldn't comment.
See, nerd. Look at Dragon X's last comment. See, he keeps it in the shop, and then he edits.
Yeah, the role that he wants. Yeah.
Have you
But
tried to do that? Have you tried to do that?
I'll tell you what I did. I actually rolled all kinds of them and filmed each one and put them in separate clips so I could just pull the roll that I want.
No, if you try that, because I thought, I wonder if they think I'm doing that. So I tried it, and you only have to move the dice box a millimeter if you knock it or whatever. And then when you try and put it together, suddenly the dice box goes,
no.
And
I had it over my dice box. And I threw a dice in, pulled it out, threw it in, and I just kept recording. And I split them all up. And this is number 3 roll. This number.
I'm going to
so I had like 23 rolls. Yeah.
All I can say is no. But if you think that, that's fine. Okay. Actually, we'll be able to see it because on what we got, July the 4th, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your lot. Oh, because you've had Juneteenth today, haven't you? Or yesterday. Yeah. Ours was 30 years. Ours was 30 years before that. So anyway, we won't say much about that. But on 30 years before. Anyway, July the 4th.
I have no idea what he said, so I don't.
That's good because I'm going to get
July 4th.
July 4th. Me and Tony are going to be playing some more battles of the American Revolution.
And so you're gonna have a tough time this time.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
I don't say that you changed the dice on it. I think that you were really honest with the dice. I think where it came to is your tactic cards. Oh, they're gonna do a frontal assault. The Americans, they're gonna retreat. Let's see. That's a minus 12 dice roll on them.
I was using the solitaire tactic card thing.
Oh my goodness! That is actually a good point. That is a good point right there.
Just watch through it. It's like, why would the Americans do that?
Because that's what I rolled on the dice for the solitaire tactics chart.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh man,
really,
I know you're kidding, but the grief I've got over that, and it's honest.
Don't worry about the grief.
Someone posted earlier in the week online. I don't know who did it or whatever. It was some AI generated video of the British during the American Revolution, and one of them was like vlogging the whole thing. And one of them was they're going to Lexington and Conquer, and it's like, yeah, we're doing great, we're gonna go beat them, and then the next one is they're falling back in the woods as they're getting shot at. It goes, we don't know what's going on. These Americans have these new tactics of hiding behind trees.
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's cool. I'm just going to try and find that because that's what I use.
Here he goes. He's got to pull it out.
There you go. That's what I used. And that told me what tactics you geezers were using.
Look, Ruff. I still love this series. I love the way that you reacted to everything and just, it just cracked me up on the whole thing.
It was good fun to play. That's what I fell in love with it.
That's one of the reasons I came to the War Room, because I saw that you were on there. I thought, I gotta watch this guy. This guy's great.
Yeah, it's a good series. Joking apart.
Speaking of British history, it is 1 hour in. So, Ruff, why don't you tell us what happened today in British and aviation history?
Well, until we get to the 18th century, then you guys might get a thing coming in. Can't help it. I can't help it.
Hey, show historical wings first. His comment.
What's he got there? Hold on. It may well have been Thomas, but that's neither here nor there.
Man,
it may have been published by my own publishing company in London. No, it doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness!
You can't win, Ruff. You just can't.
I know I can't win. Not with you guys. Anyway, we start in 1813.
I'll be right back.
We're not leaving.
What?
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I'm a guest. I'll stay.
All right. That's all right. 1813.
I'll be right back.
I'm going to freeze my brain.
Oh, cheers. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, see, look at that guy.
Yeah,
I'm here for you, Ruff. I'm here.
Thank you, Nerdy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
1813, Peninsular War. Wellington defeats Joseph Bonaparte at the Battle of Vittoria. And 1854, this is an important piece of British history, the first Victoria Cross, Britain's highest medal for bravery, was awarded to Charles Lucas, who was awarded it during the Crimean War for conspicuous bravery. The medal was made from metal from a cannon captured at Sebastopol. The Victoria Cross was extended to colonial troops in 1867, and to date, a total of 1,356 Victoria Crosses have been awarded. So there we go. 1864, American Civil War. The Battle of Jerusalem Plank Road. I just love the names of these places you guys have over there. Who would call them somewhere Jerusalem Plank Road? Anyway, the Battle of Jerusalem Plank Road, also known as the First Battle of the Weldon Railroad, that makes more sense, took place during the American Civil War, of course, fought from today until tomorrow, 1864, near Petersburg, Virginia. It was the first of a series of battles during the siege of Petersburg aimed at extending the Union siege lines to the west and cutting the rail lines supplying Petersburg. 2 infantry corps of the Union Army of the Potomac attempted to sever the Weldon Railroad, but were attacked and driven off by the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia's 3rd Corps, principally the division of Brigadier General William Mahone. The inconclusive battle left the Weldon Railroad temporarily in Confederate hands, but the Union Army began to extend its fortifications to the west, starting to increase the pressure of the siege. Look at that. 1900, the Boxer Rebellion. China formally declares war today on the United States, Britain, Germany, France, and Japan as an edict issued from the Empress Dowager Cixi. And then 1919, German sailors scuttled 72 warships at Scapa Flow in the Orkneys, even though Germany had surrendered. It was the greatest act of self-destruction in modern military history. World War II, 1940. Italy begins an unsuccessful invasion of France. And then I think they capitulated. No, they didn't quite after that. 1942, German forces under Field Marshal Rommel capture Tobruk. 33,000 Allied troops are taken prisoner. So apologies to our Antipodean soldiers there. 1942, World War II, a Japanese submarine surfaces near the Columbia River in Oregon, firing 17 shells at Fort Stevens in one of the only handful of attacks by Japan against the United States mainland. And at the end, 1945 of World War II, the Battle of Okinawa ends when the organized resistance of Imperial Japanese Army forces collapse in the Maibuni area on the southern tip of the main island. 1961, June 21st, 22nd, a Royal Air Force Avro Vulcan, my favorite bomber of all times, makes the first non-stop flight from England to Australia. And then 1961, not a military aircraft, but in the 70s, I was an avid plane spotter along with some of my mates, and we used to travel down to Southend Airport. We could go upstairs. There was a glass-fronted sort of outside restaurant seating area. We could sit there, watch all the planes, make a note of all the registrations to tick them off in our books. And this was the first plane I learnt its full title. And I'm going to show that to you. So let's get that up. It's just nostalgia for me. I'm sorry, I apologize, but here we go. Share screen. Look at that. This is, and I still remember it after all these years, this is the first flight of this plane called the Aviation Traders ATL 98 Carver.
That is uglier than sin.
I know, but do you see the front?
Like a guppy that flies.
Do you see the front? That opened up and you could drive cars into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a transporter for motor vehicles, and it was the British air ferries. That's what BAF is. And we used to see those all the time. at Southend Airport. Yeah, Aviation Traders, ATL 98 Carvares. There we go. And when I saw that, a little tear came to my eye because I remember that with fondness. So we go.
I live close to.
What's this?
Yes, I was just about to mention that. Thank you very much, Dragon X.
Thank you.
Very much appreciates it.
Wonderful.
So what's my kickback for being a guest on that?
I'll send you a biscuit. I'll send you a packet of Jaffa cakes.
Okay, all right.
If you've never had Jaffa cakes.
I thought he was going to send you some card sleeves.
There you go.
No, they're probably, because they're from America, they're probably...
That, or he was going to send you the player aid that was printed in London.
Yeah, I could send you that, yeah.
Now, when the space shuttle used to be piggybacked on 747...
Yeah.
Used to fly right over here.
Oh, blimey.
Every time they send it back, I'd always see it. And you could always... It had a different noise than anything else. We don't get a lot of 747s going over here. But it didn't get much altitude by the time it came by my house, so you could hear it coming. And that just used to be I think I got some pictures on slides someplace of it flying over.
Yeah, but the Carvair was just so different, It's in my memory.
I forget. This was a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember what the specific event that it was for, but I remember I was at work and I left to go get lunch and I was coming back in and I was hearing something and I looked up and noticed that there was a squadron of P-51s flying over. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I want to find out where to go. And I never could figure it out. But hey, Hex to Hex is here.
Oh, because funnily enough, he's on the show next week where they're all going to try and convince me to play some more American Civil War nonsense. Good luck with that, Hexy. No, that's what I want to. So pick it if you want anything about American Civil War. Pick his brains, all right. Make him work for it.
Now,
so good to see you, Hexy. I was just going to say, you saw the P-51.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, I was told I need to explain this, but slides are like little pictures inside a little white little card that we used to be able to look at when we took photos.
Who asked that daft question? Are we that old, nerdy?
I guess. Hey, I still teach photography, man. I have to explain to my students.
Hey,
it cracks me up. My students are there, and I tell them I started doing photography before any of you were your parents were even born.
Yeah. And we used to go in a dark room and sit there and have to develop the stuff.
Oh, Wardrobe asked a very good question.
No, we know what the answer is for me.
You know what the answer is? It's GC ACW.
No, not yet. No, let me get my head around GB. I know Todd's trying to get his head around GB ACW with Stigler's new set of smaller stuff. But yeah,
it's the maps. It's the
maps, and it's a different game altogether, isn't it? It's higher up in the air, isn't it?
Operational, yeah.
So talking about the P-51s. Where I live tends to be the flight path for a lot of the air shows that will be happening this month and next month. So we get Spitfires flying over and all that. It's wonderful because as soon as you hear it, you go, that's a Spitfire. So you run out into the back garden and look up.
Rolls-Royce engine.
Oh, yes.
We have the only flying Zero over at Chino here. Every year. And I got one time I got to photograph it taken off and in the hangar as they were burning out and stuff, and got to sit inside the cockpit and photograph it and stuff for an article we were doing. So it's really that was my favorite World War II plane.
That is cool. There was a guy I remember watching a video once of a German pilot from World War II had survived the war, and then later on he was given the opportunity to fly a Spitfire. And so
I saw that video. I haven't watched it yet. Yes.
Yeah. And he was participated in the Battle of Britain on the German side. So he's flying the Spitfire and he comes down and he says, now I know why we lost. This plane is great.
It's good because we have these air shows, and because we're on the south, I'm on the southeast coast ish. They come flying across to Kent and to there's also there used to be one in Southend on sea where they'd fly along out in the sea and you stand on the beach and watch. Great.
Yep. So for Nate's notes today,
yes,
I'm gonna take a turn away from the Civil War and World War II and everything, and we're gonna go back to the olden days of knights and castles. And with this book, Power and Thrones, it's a new history of the Middle Ages by Dan Jones. So you may be familiar. He's the one who wrote the book on the Plantagenets, and as well as on the Knights Templar. He wrote a book on the Wars of the Roses and the Crusades and Magna Carta. He's done several documentaries on the BBC. I know that
he did the one on. He did the one on the Plantagenets for the BBC,
correct.
didn't he? It's
Yes.
not a bad series if you can find it.
No, definitely not. Then his most recent book was on Henry V that I have, but I haven't read yet. But this book, this one covers the entirety of the Middle Ages, all the way from the fall of the Roman Empire until the time of around 1500 or so.
All of that in such a thin book.
What's that?
All of that in such a thin book.
A thin book, yes. How many pages?
If it's from the fall of the Roman Empire to the 15th century.
578.
Yes, my English Civil War one is 827. No.
But I will say, I mean, I really, really enjoy Dan Jones as a historian. I think he does a great job. Yes, very much I agree. He's very readable. And that's one of the things that as a historian that I look for in other historians is please be readable. I have some books of mine that are
as dry as sawdust.
Yes, dry as dust. It's just like, and even when they're speaking of things that I know about, it's still boring. And so tell a good story, and he definitely does a good job.
No, Thomas.
Wow.
Sorry, I just had to say that.
If
You're not Frenching up that name.
So if we really want to use the full term, it's not, Plantagenet.
Have you done one on Henry V as well?
Yes, I mentioned that.
Please. That's a good book.
So there's Plantagenet, obviously the anglicized word. Yes, he mentions the French version of it, but
we've always, since they've been over here, have called them the Plantagenets.
Correct, but its origins is actually in Latin. It's planta genesta. It is a little cornflower that Henry of Anjou would wear in his hair, and it's called planta genesta.
Is that what he's trying to redeem himself? Is that Henry Sonk?
Henry V. That's Henry V.
That's Henry Sonk. Yeah,
Henry of
Anjou.
Anjou.
Learn French, Nate. That means Henry V.
So I was going to answer Nordic's question there. Nordic, those back there, I do for Warhammer and other things like that. But also, for some of you that don't know, I was an editor for Model Airplane News for 16 years, which was remote control airplanes. And I did a lot of scale planes. So I've always been into scale planes. We had
I used to do free flight. I couldn't full radio control.
I had a Lancaster remote control that had a 17-foot wingspan.
Oh, jeez.
That was a fun, and I actually sold that. I never crashed that one, but that was an awesome plane to fly.
We're very similar, Nerdy. I've just decided,
we're just on the opposite sides.
It's because of those were the hobbies of our youth.
And there's a keyboard right over here. I don't know if you can see the end of it.
Yeah, I can see that. And
this is my keyboard desk there.
Yeah, I've got the guitars there.
That hat up there. Well, you can't see it, but there's I had 2 guitars over there. They're all over. We have 4 or 5 over here now.
Yeah.
So all right. So
sorry.
Now that Nate's notes is over, Nerd, do you have anything you'd like to contribute, or
it's supposed to be Jester's, right? The hidden gem.
The hidden gem. Right. What's your hidden gem?
As long as it's not a bloody block game.
I show ya.
I agree, Randall.
My hidden gem, and it's not so much this, but it is. But Victory at the Sea. A lot of people don't think, they think, it's a simple game. It's an old game because it's basically.
Wasn't that we were supposed to? Wasn't that Yeah, someone was trying to convince Hexy to play that game.
Oh, it's fun. But the cool thing is that
It doesn't like
it leads
naval
to
games.
this one. I think this is a gem that war gamers don't think about much.
No.
But I actually was on a ladder for this, and this game is just awesome. It's a simple game, but you start out, if you're the Americans, you start out with nothing, and you have to build up, and eventually towards the end of the game, you got enough to crush the Japanese. The Japanese, they start out with everything, and they're trying to keep you down throughout the game so that you don't build up and crush them at the end. And the cool thing about this game is you never really know what's going to happen until about the second to last turn, maybe. And I love this game, and a lot of people don't think about this game, but if you get a chance to buy one of these, I would do it, and you could even play it, on Vassal. But it's Victory in the Pacific, War at Sea, and now Victory at Sea.
They're classic games. That's because people still play them. There must be something about them, yeah.
Yeah, and they have an event every year, I think in the Midwest, that everybody goes to just to play in this event here.
Well, and there's going to be a newer game in that same vein from Gilbert coming out, I think later this year, Kaiser's High Seas Fleet. So it's the World War I version of that.
Yeah. So
do you know these books?
I do. They're very good.
They're good, are they? Right.
Yes.
Thank you, Larry, for spending my money. Make it a bit.
They're very, very good. Only two of the three are out. So he's still working on the third one.
Oh, he's working on the third. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, there you go. You see, nerdy. There we go. You see, I was a professional musician for many, many years.
I'm not. I'm actually learning piano. I learned it years ago, and then I stopped completely. And then now, being semi-retired, I thought I got to start
doing something. Otherwise, your brain turns to jelly.
Exactly. And my hands, I'm starting to get arthritis, and I find that really helps.
Well, that's what the guitar as well, that sort of thing. So I haven't played it very much at all. But I used to be a professional magician as well, So I've done an actor and all that.
I've had exactly 3 piano lessons in my whole life.
Only because you were told to have them.
No, I thought I was interested, and 3 lessons later, I wasn't.
Well, I did a lot of video work for musicians to put together, their songs into performances. So it's I've always been around them.
Yeah, and we're weird, aren't we? Anyway,
gotta be.
Enough said.
Let's go to our topic for today.
Everybody's agreeing with you though, nerdy, about the game.
Stuka and I, we're soulmates, man. He agrees.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the best games, or the games that have the best or great, depending on which one, of great replayability. So I will start us off. A game that has been considered and still is considered a classic in wargaming hobby. I know that it is played an awful lot at tournaments. And that is the Russian campaign. Great replayability, this game. Every time it's different. And excellent game. Easy game to learn. This one from Compass, the 1974 version, is only 8 pages. That one I think is 12 pages, if that. It's excellent.
Much better version. Yeah,
that's the GMT one that's no longer in print. And
no, unfortunately not. No,
I actually have the flat one of that up there.
Oh, very nice, very, very nice. So
the big box one. Yeah.
These have been around for a long time, and
so there must be something good about it. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a good system.
Very good system, and I can see why it launched an awful lot of other games after that. I mean, Fortress Europa, the African campaign, those other games from John Edwards that were in this kind of the same light as this one. So I know for me personally, I got this one from Compass. I'll be getting, when they redo Fortress Europa, they're going to put like mounted maps in there, and I'm going to be getting that because these are great games.
Yeah,
So,
and Mike, I'm not whipping out anything. All right, don't get any ideas. So.
Yeah, I don't have that one, but I do have the
one.
Avalon Hill one. So
yeah.
Okay, Ruff, what's yours?
I'm just looking at trying to get everybody's thingy. My favorite one for
he doesn't want to whip out anything, but he's looking for his thingy.
I'm looking for people's thingies. Yes, it's a British thing. People watching know what I'm talking.
Remember, we are a family-friendly show, Ruff.
It's a family-friendly comment. All right.
You wearing shorts there, Ruff?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to hide. My legs are like dead fish. So, unlike this game, Ambush ! Which isn't very replayable, the one that came out with another exclamation mark, a bit of a homage to that game, Combat! Is very replayable. Play the same scenario because you've got cards and things rather than a set of printed responses to wherever you are on that map. This just is different every time.
Now, you did a playthrough of that, correct?
Yeah, that was the cat gate, wasn't it? So
are you going to do a playthrough of Volume 3?
Hold on, just run over my plastic bag. Get out of it. Right, so yes, it's also on my 10 games to play Combat, so I'm not sure if I'm playing that one, Volume 2. So I was a bit clever. I didn't say which one. And if Volume 3 comes out, which is another standalone one, I'll try and play that one, I think. But yeah, great replayability.
I need to play Last 100 Yards first before I decide to get Combat.
Well, Last 100 Yards is this is just a solo game. You know, sit there, Billy No Mates, love it.
Oh, don't worry, Hexy, it's coming.
It's coming.
What's that? See, I've been missing out on all the blooming things here, so I'm going to work backwards.
All right, nerd. What's your choice?
Well, seeing as how you said it, I grabbed this one. Well, you saw that, Fields of Fire, I feel, is a good replayable one. Yeah. But Last 100 Yards, I was playtester for 3 of the volumes, and every game. The nice thing about this is that every game is different because you have different ending times of the game. We play one game where I wiped them out in the first turn, just completely demolished. And then we said, well, that can't be right. Let's do it again. And we ended up playing, I think, 4 times. And all 4 times it was different outcomes. So this has enough variety in just the system itself that makes this a very replayable game. You play these games. And, with 5 volumes now, there's all kinds of, options.
Well, but speaking of that,
single game is really good.
Speaking of that, let me share this so Ruff can put it up.
Hold on, let me just get rid of that.
DMT announced there's another printing of the Russian front for Last 100 Yards. I don't have that one. I want to get that one, so I hope that it makes it.
That will. But yeah, that's one that I play tested, and that was the one that
we both got it, nerdy. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one I just talked about, that game that I ambushed.
My only gripe with these, it's like the GBACW. Every time one comes out, the rules change, or they tweak, or they clarify, or whatever. And the same thing happened with this series.
Yeah, I agree.
You got the first one, then they brought out the Airborne, and they tweaked the rules, and then you've got the Solomon one coming out, and they've done it again with this, with different player age. You've got to use the player age for this now.
Yeah, because I think what Mike does is he adds the, Airborne comes out, so he added that. The Russians have a different command system, so he wants to keep them all in one book.
Fair enough.
That's why you get the new ones, like the American battles, the battles of the American Revolution. He just has the one core book, and then you have different books for each one of those.
Yeah, but the core rules keep changing, keep being updated.
Well, they do to an extent, because we find things in playtesting that we say, oh, wait a minute,
stop finding things, stop researching into it, and stop it. That's all.
It's just playing them. It's just playing it,
Yeah,
that's all.
I'm happy that the core game is getting better and refined over time.
The only good thing is about these updated with Last 100 Yards and GBACW, is that if you've got the one before, it doesn't break the game. You can still play the game.
You can still play it.
if you get the new one, you just use the updated rules
Sure.
for all the others you've got. So
Sure.
yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate there.
Well, I have all 5 in the series of those games, so I enjoy those games.
All right. Well, my next one for a war game with great replayability or a game with best replayability in my collection is a game that I have talked about over and over and over again of how much I enjoy it. And because each time that I've gone to it, it is different, but it creates each time a much different story. It's very narrative focused. Really.
Hold
really
on. Can I just answer Hexy? The reason they are completely replayable, these monster games, Hexy, is because you never finish them.
It's just the continuation.
Yeah, you just start again.
Continuation.
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
My game.
I couldn't resist that.
This one is actually can be considered a manageable monster, and how much that there's in it. Death in the Trenches.
I wonder when that will pop up. You love that game, don't you?
Love this game.
Nothing
Love
wrong
this
with
game. Ben Madison, Compass Games. Very, very narrative driven. 500 different events. This is great. This is an excellent, excellent game. It is always different. Plays wonderfully. Plays wonderfully solitaire as well. And just an all-around excellent game. Really, really like it. Can't say enough how much I like it. It is just that good. So it is very, very replayable. So that is my pick.
I just want to come back on Sean's thing. He only plays games solitaire, like me, mainly a solitaire player. But that's where combat, there's no dice in combat, I think. It's card driven. Yeah.
Hexy says that was a perfect answer, by the way.
Yeah, who's that? Hexy.
Yeah, that you gave him.
Yeah, I couldn't resist it. Yeah, combat doesn't have any dice. It's card driven. So there's a few games like that are card. Wolfpack's another one. Completely random things happen all the time because of the cards and the chip pull and all that. So yes.
All right, Ruff, what's your next? Hold off on the comments right now and pick a game.
All right, I'll have a little look, and I think.
See, like how I chose, both Nerd and I chose our game.
I wanted to be put on the spot. I wanted to think for the moment. Being a mainly solitaire
for our
player,
audience.
Yeah, that things like
he just wants to show off his legs when he goes back in.
No. I want to sort of look at things like the Leader series, which are fantastically replayable, even though you're playing the same scenario again because you've got cards in there. We'll jig it up a bit. Things like Bismarck, the VUCA game Bismarck, and that's a 2-player game, but again, that is completely different every time you play it. Even things like Target for Today, Target for Tonight, even though that's driven by tables and tables and tables, it's you might get through 25 missions, you might only get through 1 or 2 or 3. So replayability. I want a game that keeps me wanting to come back for more.
Just pick one.
I'll pick one. I'll pick. I've given you 3 to get on with, so you can miss me out and I can do the chat.
Okay.
Let's pick. Okay, let's pick B-17 Leader. Great replayability.
Great.
All right. There's so many solitaire games have to be replayable, otherwise they wouldn't sell the bloody things, would they?
Nerd, go ahead with your choice.
Well, seeing as how he's on a solitaire game, I think the whole series is very replayable. Because every map changes, cards change, the number of planes, what you can take. There's so many variables that makes this game.
I didn't pick it because I knew you had the out, so
Well, I actually showed you the other one. So I do have all 3 of them. I do have all 3 of them too. But yeah,
right.
Yeah, this is Skies. I showed you Storm.
All right.
But yeah, I think these games, just because of that fact that they have so much going on that can change, that they make it makes it very replayable. And it's a fun story too. It's good. good narrative that you can create from it.
Now, I will echo those comments because my next choice is Wolfpack.
Oh, well, I'm gonna get rid of mine then.
Yeah,
sorry.
mine's back up on the list there. Right, okay.
Yeah, every single time it plays different. Excellent.
I agree with you, and it's the best solitaire and cooperative, which is why it should have won that award.
It should have done, because it's a sort of beast for everything, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, the one
Let's
thing.
all show ours off then. All right, there we go.
One thing that not only do I like about is that it plays well, is it looks cool.
Yeah. It's that dark grayness of
the box cover, the graphic design, everything about it is just great. And
what I love is you have one of your players getting the depth charges dropped on them, and all of you are going like this, waiting for the next card. Like,
oh yeah,
man, you know.
Oh yeah.
No, what you do, you're going. Yes, it wasn't me, right?
All right, Ruff. What's your next one?
Well, I'm going to mention it. I know it took me an age to play it, but the replayability is absolutely fantastic. Believe me, because I played it a bit before I recorded it. And
totally agree, Stuka. Totally agree.
Skies above Britain. Again, because of those cards. I know there's dice in it, but because of those cards, you don't know what the Germans are going to do when you're doing your dogfights or when you're coming into bomb.
That's a good looking
to try and get the bombers.
But I would definitely echo Stuka Joe's comment here.
Look,
can you pull that up?
Yeah, just making sure, because I get told off that I don't leave them up long enough for people to read. So you don't get the angry emails. So shush. There we are.
Yeah, random element. That's all. That's and the more random it is,
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that today in the shower, actually, before the show, about chess.
Do we need to know that much?
No, I wasn't whipping anything out. I was just having a think.
Never said anything about that.
What filth? Yeah, grow up. Yeah,
I would have figured it's already there.
Yeah,
in the shower.
But I was thinking about chess, and it's that it's not random. It's like a pre-programmed thing, because the moves, you have a certain amount of opening moves, and if that person does that opening,
especially openings, yeah.
And then in the middle game, it's a little bit more random, but then if they're going to be doing that, you can see what they're doing, and the end game is pretty sort of predestined if you've been playing it right. So I know chess is a great game, but I wouldn't call it 100% random. In my opinion, don't give me hate mail.
Can you pull up Stuka's last comment? It's near the bottom. No.
But that is true.
He said looks are important. You don't have...
Yeah, all right. See, I've missed all these comments out. I do apologise because of these commissars.
Because I absolutely will echo and agree with this comment. Looks are important in a game. I mean, with Wolfpack, if you're going to be looking at it for hours, it ought to be good. And it's one of those things where I know there are a good number of wargamers that don't care necessarily about the look of a game as long as it plays well. However, on the flip side is that the phrase "don't judge a book by its cover," while it is true, unfortunately, is still very much a thing. People will look at a game, will look at a box, will look at the back of the box, and if it looks cool, they'll pick it up. If it doesn't look cool and it doesn't look inviting to them, then they may not even give it a chance. So that's why do yourselves a favor and have good artwork for your games, good graphic design. It will help out a lot.
No, I tell you what, there's one and only one exception to that for me, and that is Panzer Grenadier. The maps are hideous.
They are.
Counters are lovely, but I look through that because I love the game. But that's the only one I will sort of look through the rosy tinted glasses because I just love the game.
All right, nerd. What's I think it's on you next.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Combat Commander.
Oh,
And again, this
card
is
driven. Yeah.
card driven, and it stumps you with the cards. And I mean, there are people that are on the Combat Commander ladder that have been on there for years playing this game over and over and over again. And it still has that much appeal and that much difference in each game that it keeps them interested and staying on that ladder. And I think that's one of the longer ladders that have gone on. Well, maybe the longest, but it's one of the more popular ones. So I think this one gets kudos for being one that's very replayable.
It's been out a while as well, isn't it? So
and there's all kinds of variations, different ones, and it's definitely a cool game.
I'll even echo with Chad Jensen's Downfall. Very replayable. Very, especially when you pull out those orders on the track each time, you don't know what's going to come out, so it's eminently replayable.
Well, seeing as how you talk about this, I'm just going to go right with Chad's this one. This is another one that is very replayable because you have that upper map, the upper section, where you got the blocks and everything, and you got the cards, and you got the hexes down below where you got to move the infantry and the units around.
Do you think it's not me? I'm just asking for a friend. Somebody said, is it a little bit gamey that with the blocks there buying your orders?
I think it depends. If you like playing chess, I like this because you look at those blocks and you plan out what moves you can do and where you can put that initiative. And because that initiative varies,
the other chap, aren't you? So,
yeah, I mean, like Jester talked about that game that we played, and I had a chance on that game till we put those blocks up, and all those blocks went in the high numbers, which totally wiped me out. And and you could be that way in this game. You could be going and all of a sudden the blocks get placed and they're in a perfect spot. And now you can really, wipe out the game, or the blocks go someplace else and go, oh crap, what do I do?
Somebody else agree? Yeah. Again, I'm only saying that because I've heard that, and I haven't played it enough. I've got to play it again.
Now, my understanding is, the game is covering, the story of the 29th Infantry Division. Does each mission impact the next one?
I didn't find it to be so. Because again, that was another one that I play tested, and I found that I didn't even feel like it built onto it, because there's not when you're done with one game, you just go on to the next one, and it's already got the parameters set and all that. You don't carry anything over. Okay. So to me, I would have to say no as compared to if you're looking at like Skies Above Britain, that what happens in one campaign carries over to the next, but in this one. It didn't carry over. So
I can't remember. I haven't looked. I don't think I've even punched it yet. I had to open it because we were playing it. Are they in chronological order?
The
scenarios. So
I believe they are. I believe
that's something. That's good.
Yeah,
if that,
I believe
you can
they
actually play through their life.
Look at it again to see, but I think they are. But you follow them on through.
Good. Does it tell a cool story?
Because you hear Jester talking about it all the time, about how he beat me on it. So I mean, it must be a cool story.
Yeah, I think that's the story. Yeah, I think
I don't think it's a narrative as much as it is. It just follows along. I mean, it's sort of like Combat Commander. You read about what it is, and then you do that. So because I didn't feel that it followed the narrative. Yeah. No. Last 100 Yards doesn't follow a narrative either.
No.
Okay.
Yes, historical and accurate. Mike said, fighting formation has historical scenarios, which it does, and historical maps and accurate order of battle. So all of that is true, but I don't think if you lost in one battle, it's not going to change what's going to happen in the next.
Sure, because you're only looking at a small bit of them, aren't you?
That battle.
That battle,
Sure.
Yeah, got it.
All right. Well, another game that I see played an awful lot. And especially a lot of videos of plays over and over and over again. I'll just pick one. You could pick one out of this whole series, but I'm going to pick one in particular that any one of them will suffice as a game with great replayability. The 40X series from GMT, Mark Simonich. This one, Stalingrad 42. I see it played an awful lot. A lot of people play it online, and definitely replayable. Especially this particular one. Can the Germans get to Stalingrad quicker than they did historically? Can they get to the Caucasus Mountains, and get the oil before the Russians build up their armies? So it's a fascinating game. And
because there's randomness in there that will stop you getting to Stalingrad or will help you get to Stalingrad.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just asking for people. I mean, I've got it. I'm just asking for people that say, why is that replayable? Aren't you just trying the same thing every time? But there are things that will aid and will hinder you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, but I would say anything in the 40 series, France 40, North Africa 41, Salerno 43, Ardennes 44. What else? Ukraine 43 that's coming back out.
Holland 44.
Normandy 44. Yeah. Any of them that, yes, that is on the P500. And it'll include the expansion in it as well.
Oh, so they don't have to buy it separate like what we did.
Correct.
Yeah, we had to buy it separate. I have all of the games right over there. That's my first.
We did that earlier. We did that earlier, Charles. E4M and about the Charles Roberts.
Yes, but yeah, these are eminently replayable games. So.
And somebody, I think we did mention RAF. Somebody was said RAF was a good one. But yeah, you're quite right.
So again, I don't know. Someone, mentions about the mounted maps for if they ever do mounted. Will they ever do mounted maps for Stalingrad 42? I mean, they've done them for all the others.
It's big though.
I'd love to see them, but there's what 4 maps in here, two regular size one, and then I think
that'd be pretty big.
I think it's 3.
Is there a map in the expansion?
So still, it's large. So
is there a map in the expansion?
No,
I can't remember it.
So 3 maps, that'd be a lot, but I'd love to see it. I don't know if they'll ever do it.
It's a big game, which is why probably I mean, there's smaller scenarios in there, but
the expansion just was the packet,
just the bits and extra counters.
Yeah, and updated rules. All right, Ruff, do you have a choice?
I have many choices. I'm just thinking of I'm thinking of games like this. I love my solitaire games. I love States of Siege games. And this has, like Cruel Necessity, which is coming onto the table quite soon. You think you're doing all right because there's 3 like epochs, they call them, 3 sets of cards, 3 decks of cards. First one, you think, it's a doddle. Then it starts getting a little bit, and you think, this is a bit. And then the third one is the one that makes or breaks you. And it's the same with Cruel Necessity, the English Civil War. I love these games because it makes you think, I'm going to try it again. Try and beat it this time.
Yeah, I'm going to give him beat that.
Yeah, because it's like, you're doing well. And then this card, again, you've got to hope that the cards turn up in a certain order, I suppose, to make it a little easier.
Stuka, you sweat when Rommel arrives in that game.
Yes, yeah. Because me and Stuka have played playthroughs of this, and we both, I think he might have done slightly better than me. But it's a very hard game to beat. Great game. But and the other one that somebody mentioned is that they're so hard to beat, but is the D-Day series from Mr. Butterfield. So hard to beat. They are hard to beat. They are frustratingly hard to beat.
Okay.
Go back and replay because next time you might not drift off, especially in the Omaha one. You might not drift off so far off your programmed beach. So yes,
very cool.
But they are good.
Do you have a choice, or have you told us all of them, or
no? But I was debating on this one, but I thought I'm standing in for a guy who doesn't even play war games anymore. Board games. So at least mine's a board game.
So you can pick up whatever you like.
Replayability right here.
Oh,
this game right here. Maximum replayability.
I've heard
the only reason I'm saying that is that it's card driven, but there are so many things that it's basically a build, game. And I lost 4 times to my son already since we had this 3 days ago, and I still want to play some more. And I got the online version. I'm playing that. I think this game maximum replayability. If we're talking about games that have maximum replayability, not a war game, but again, it's also not a computer game.
Right.
But I think anybody who's played this, and it's a good family game too. That's a good thing. And it'll help when I think your wife said she would like to play this game.
I'm gonna have words.
It is a plane. It does fly. See there. See, so that works. But
there's nothing wrong, with us playing non-war games, but at least we have a mixture. Another good one, yes, Jeff. Where are we, Jesse? That's a great, Halls of Hegra. That is another hard game to beat, but again, that's a States of Siege type game. Yeah, it's a Euro-y game with a military theme, but it's very hard. Once it all starts happening and they're all coming towards you, you might as well just hide under the table.
Ark Nova is mentioned and Root is mentioned.
Oh, dear.
Root looks pretty cool. I'd like to try that. I'd say it's a war game. War in the Forest.
I was going to
historical war game,
but anyway, I won't.
Wow. The predator birds in that game do eat other birds, so
Oh, we did get a question about a war game. Do any of us have any ASL stuff?
No.
I do, and I played it a long time ago, back in the late 70s, early 80s, and I was confused then and never was interested. Now it's rather costly to get into it, and all the stuff if you look at Zillow, he bought that whole set.
Yeah.
I just wonder how much he will play that.
But Chad Jensen loved playing that game, from what I understand, and so there must be something to that, because he's made some fantastic replayable games. In his lifetime. So I've
got a couple of the starter packs, but that's about it.
Yeah, I have 2 of the starter packs, and I haven't yet tried them yet.
Yeah.
Well, my last game I'll show off that has great replayability. I don't know if Hexy has played this. I'll have to ask him when he's on next week. And it is a Civil War game. It is my favorite strategic Civil War, the whole shooting match. GMT's U.S. Civil War. Mark Simonich. Excellent game. I remember the first time I played it, and I was starting to learn it, moving units here and there, and then finally it just kind of all came together and clicked and was like, oh, this is really good. This is really good. 2 mounted maps, covers the whole southeastern part of the U.S. And it is kind of neat too when you're playing a war game and the town that you live in is on the map. It's okay. My goal is to go and capture this town.
Just because it's my town. Yeah,
that's right. But this is a great.
I didn't get that
game.
Because it didn't look solo friendly, but you're saying it is. No, this is just reading the sort of GMT web thing.
I mean, it says 5 out of 9, but it is the same like the 40 series that he does.
Double-handed thingy.
Double-handed. There are cards that are in there, but the cards aren't really anything necessarily that you need.
Yeah, Dragon, you had to bring it up, didn't you?
True. Cruel,
but true.
But excellent game.
Mike, thinking about selling.
Oh,
yeah, he has a whole collection of ASL.
ASL was talking about, not that game. All right, gotcha.
I agree, Wardrobe. I agree. Absolutely agree. That's why maybe that's why I have so many games that are left unplayed, is that I keep going back to ones. Hey, catch you later.
And there's something to be said about. No, that's sorry. There's something to be said about that, because I know that one of the reasons I like playtesting is that you really learn a game, and then once you really learn a game, it becomes really enjoyable. And
yes,
that is the bad thing about being a YouTuber, is that we go through a game, or we do a box opening. We don't really play because we got this next one coming in. And that's what I'm going to try to do this year, is play more games more often. The same game, do over and over. Because I find that as you get better at it, you start to see what the designer did.
Yeah.
And you go, God, this is really fun.
And we've had this discussion, how to play a game against how to play a game. You play it. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do with my videos. Instead of churning them out, I used to churn out 2 or 3 videos a week. But what I'm doing now is I'm just easing back and playing the game maybe for a week or so I can enjoy playing it, being relaxed with how the game works. I'm still going to mess up, still going to miss things, but I'm much more comfortable playing it without having to think what comes next. It's just automatic with in this little game in the shadows. It's just doing it. Before I know where I am, I've recorded an hour and a half, and I think, oh crikey, I better stop and have a look, make sure I haven't messed up. But yeah, that's a great point, Nerdy. Play more games.
And to even highlight Stuka Joe's comments that it takes repeated.
He's been a bit mouthy today, isn't he? He's chipping in all the time, old Stuka.
It's great. I mean, that was something I discovered when I was playing Death in the Trenches. I mean, it wasn't until about halfway through playing through the war, like 1915, 1916, that I started to see where the things that the designer wanted you to see as you got further and further in the game. It was like new, cooler experiences the further you went. And so I've seen, and unfortunately, it's just a thing, is that we get a new game, we put it out, we learn it real quick, we play a couple of turns, and we're like, oh, this is pretty cool. I think I'll enjoy this. But then we pack it away and we move on to the next game, and we don't get to experience the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
exactly. Yeah. But is this might be a nice topic, Todd, for one of our things. There's lots of types of fatigue going around at the moment. Rules fatigue. Are we getting fed up with learning new rules? Maybe. I don't know.
But I also think too, when you learn new rules of different games, it helps you understand rules of other games. Because you start seeing what the designer sees in games, and it's helped me a lot reading it.
That's like learning the rules when you first play this game. You learn about movement and zones of control and terrain effects and the CRTs and all that, and that provides the foundation for a lot of others.
Yeah. The other series that does that is the Standard Combat series.
Yeah, I think I like what is it Sark KK put up is what Mark Herman said, and that's true. I remember back in the 70s, I only had Avalon Hill was the only game that I really had. And you buy one game and you play it because there wasn't another new one coming out.
Or you didn't have enough pocket money. You were saving up for the next one.
Those were only like $8 a piece. I remember. And you get a coupon in the General magazine for $1 off and save shipping. It's like,
well, it's different over here. It's still a lot of money if you got, like 50p pocket money, every week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's awkward.
Yep.
Yeah, when like you said, when they had two title releases, Randall Reed. Oh, Randall Reed. Yeah. You ought to have him on the show.
Randall Reed.
Yeah, the designer of 1776.
Yeah. Yes. I love that game. That is one of those games that I played. I had a lawyer buddy of mine, and I lived in the apartments, and I got that game, and he was into American Revolution. We must have played that game 30 times.
This is, excuse my ignorance, that's the older
Avalon Hill
game.
1776.
Yes. I have not played that yet.
It's, now,
it looks a bit, it's looking a little bit dated in respect of,
it does. But I love the map on that game. I enjoyed that game a lot.
But then again, it's me with like things like Sea Lion. It's not a great game, but it's just memories, from when it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
good memories.
And that's part of the pleasure of playing these older games. Is the old memories. They may be not very good games, but You look past that. Like I look past the marmalade maps on Panzer Grenadier.
The nostalgia.
I had all my old games. I think in the late '80s, my wife, she started getting into eBay, and so we ended up selling them all. And then when I got back into them, I ended up buying them all again.
Yeah, I know. I remember you doing some videos saying I used to have this. I went to buy it again.
Yeah. I mean, I have the old play-by-mail right up there. It was the Avalon Hill had play-by-mail things that you'd buy, pads, and you'd sit there and you mark what your turn, put it off in the post, and you wait for the guy to put his back. And you did the dice roll by a stock market. You pick a stock market and a day like, a week away and 2 weeks away. Yeah, and you use the stock market and use the last couple numbers for your dice roll. And,
cool.
So on that day, you both got the paper and you're circling and you put it. Okay, this was the dice roll.
Wow.
And then they'd send it back and they'd have their stock numbers. Okay,
but didn't you not sort of wait for the postman to deliver?
Oh yeah. It was
the mailman in your case.
I had like.
It was like pen pals in the day, wasn't it? Where you wait for the reply to come back.
Yeah, because you didn't have very many people around, to do the stuff. And I had probably 10, 12 games by mail going out all the time. But yeah, I have Panzer Blitz, Panzer Leader, Luftwaffe up there, all of them. And I think one of my most popular videos about how we played Panzer Blitz back in the day.
Yeah. The good old days. Yes, us old farts. Yes. Yeah, I know.
Well, our 2 hours are almost up.
That was quick, man. That was enjoyable, guys.
Yeah. So we appreciate everyone coming out and joining us and participating in the chat and talking to us. This has been great. We really appreciate Nerd coming and joining us this week.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's fun. I always enjoy coming on here, guys.
It was a lot of fun. And we didn't have to talk about Warframe today, so
no, and I apologize if I didn't get all. You know what I'm like? I'm trying to get all the things, and I'm getting hassled. But so apologies if I didn't get all the comments up.
I will say this: that if you haven't already done so, please like the video.
Yes,
please.
Yes. There's 8. I was number 8. I just did it.
Please.
So
is that all we've had? 8 likes.
Press that like button and subscribe to Rough Swordsman, so that you'll never miss another War Room live.
Subscribe to these two, especially this one. We want to get him up to 1,000.
Wargame Bunker, yes.
He can start hosting these blooming things then, can't he? So get him up there.
I agree with you, Stuka.
Thank you, everyone.
Jester was great this week.
Yeah, we had great fun, didn't we? One of the best times we've had, haven't we? This tonight. Yeah.
That's right.
But just so when he watches this, he gets.
That's right. So, Nerd, what's up with your channel this upcoming week? Is there anything that you're planning on doing? Or
I have a box open, and I have some more organization trays. I work to deal with GMT, so that they're basically hosting them. So I'm doing a lot more of those just to get them. They seem to be pretty happy about it. And,
are they paying for your plastic?
No, nobody's paying for that. They will send me the new game so that I can make the stuff.
Ah, clever boy. Yes.
So at least the wallet will be saved a little bit here. But yeah, no, it's the printer. As a matter of fact, I just got noticed that the printer was done with one here a minute ago. So
nice,
crazy. You are the man of that now, aren't you? So it's great.
I'm trying to be a man of something else, but yeah,
it's great. No, it's great.
Yeah, they want to know what Snake's channel you should put it.
Yeah, the Board Game Bunker. That's me and my buddy Ryan's channel.
It's up there. Yeah.
Yep. So, Ruff, what's upcoming for you?
Hopefully, we'll get this in the shadows done. It's an exciting thing, and I'm missing things out, but I'm having the problem with me is I play the game and I'm having fun, and I tend to lose track of what I'm doing and just have fun. But yes, that should, at least the first part, should be out. Fingers crossed. Just got to edit it for next week. Okay. And then we'll get the other bit done. Depends how long that bit. You'll know if I was successful or not, because it'll be either much shorter than the first part or just as long as the first part. So you'll sort of get an idea how well I did for the second part. And then after that, I've got a slew of unboxings I must do. Sort of contractually obliged to do some of those. And then after that, I've got to decide what to do next. But it'll be a couple of weeks anyway before we decide that.
Okay. Mine. I I'm still working on obviously dissertation stuff, but I'm thinking about pulling out and playing Roma Victrix again. It'll be like the 5th time that I'll have played that. The more I dive into it, the more that I enjoy it, and plus it's on the topic that I am doing my research on. So hopefully I'll have some time to play that. I know I have some friends coming next weekend. We're going to be playing War and Peace. So that should be fun.
That should be fun.
Yeah,
Always a great game. But other than that, no, just keep on.
All I can say, peeps, is lock and load, and thanks for watching. And as always, we love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. See you next week. It's back on my channel again, and we've got Hexy. So once again, thanks, Nerd. Hope you enjoyed it. Been absolutely brilliant. Thanks, everybody. We had a load of people watching as always. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you same time next week.
Yeah,
I'll be in the chat.
Take care.